Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your 2025 sneak peek. In this video today, we're going to be looking at the major upcoming themes and energies for you for 2025, as well as the blessings coming in for you and what it is that you do not see coming. I'm also going to channel some opening images and words for you that might be relevant as you're moving through 2025. And we're going to go over the astrology that you're going to be experiencing. So these are sort of the highlights for your particular energy. So go ahead, get yourself comfortable, make yourself a cup of tea, and let's dig into it. Now, as we get going here, I'm going to begin with some channeled words. So we're just going to feel into this energy here. I want to invite you to take a deep breath with me to center into your heart space. Allow for any additional images to come to you. Remember, you are psychic. You have your own intuition. You are your own oracle. Aquarius energy is particularly psychic, right? You guys are ruled by Uranus. Uranus connects to the Akashic records. It connects to timelines. It connects to the collective imprints of energy. So you are able to tap into those higher realms of consciousness quite easily. As we're moving through here, I'm seeing a doorknob. Seeing a doorknob, the door locked, turning from locked to open, and I'm seeing the door opening and this beautiful portal of energy that you are stepping through. I'm also feeling like Spirit's saying in 2025, some doors are going to be locked and some doors are going to be open. And some doors that were previously locked are now going to open up for you. So pay attention to which doors are locked, which doors are opened, and choose the doors that are open. This doesn't necessarily mean choose every single door that is opened for you. Obviously, sometimes you will need to use your discernment, but don't try to force your way through a locked door is essentially what Spirit is saying. I'm seeing a sleigh, the image of sleigh rides. Now I'm seeing like in Alaska, you know how they race the sled dogs, the huskies. I'm seeing that sort of energy. I am seeing a lot of snow. I'm seeing the trees, a lot of that winter in Alaska landscape, which is really interesting here. I'm seeing a raven or some type of other bird. For some, it's like a blue jay or a bluebird, but the raven is coming through very specifically. I'm seeing 3 ravens now. So the energy of 3, threefold, trifold. I'm seeing a lot of planets here. We got Jupiter, Saturn, who used to be your ruling planet before Uranus was discovered. We know Pluto is currently in your sign. So you're beginning to feel the energies of that. Of course, you have been for the past year or two. There's a lot with some of you may be studying astrology, Vedic astrology. I'm feeling some of you might be exploring Vedic astrology. I practice tropical Western astrology as well as galactic astrology. But Vedic or sidereal astrology might be calling to some of you, particularly if you've been looking into your astrology, but it hasn't been fully resonating. Some of you need to check out Vedic astrology. That's going to resonate for you more, or it's going to give you the additional information that you seek at this time. I've been exploring human design lately as well, so some of you might want to get into that. Or just learn more about your Western tropical astrology chart if you haven't delved into it before. But it's definitely a year with that Jupiter energy that we saw of exploring that 9th house energy of learning more. This is a big year of learning and growth for you. Pay attention to where you're being guided, where you're being led. Yeah, I just saw a book. So that energy of books, reading, gaining knowledge, perhaps writing as well, channeling your ideas into written or spoken word. I just saw a gavel, like a judge's gavel. So this may also be rulings, judications. If you've been waiting for a court ruling on something, or perhaps just becoming more decisive and decisions that you're needing to make in your own life. Becoming that authority within your own life. Yeah, I'm seeing robes now, like judges' robes as well, judges' chambers. So that energy with a judge, very powerful here. Judge not lest ye be judged. I'm also feeling this energy of judgments coming in. So it's almost like being judged and weighed. So it's like your karma coming back around this year. Some sort of karmic return. And this doesn't always, people think of that as a negative thing a lot of times. There's positive karma as well. I'm seeing like a manuscript, like how they used to write on those big scripts, parchment paper. Or this could be a past life. This could be Egyptian. I'm actually feeling Thoth here. And I believe Thoth is created, is it the Emerald Tablet that Thoth is created to? It's not the Dead Sea Scrolls, but some of you may want to look into some of those more esoteric writings, and some of you may want to work with Thoth. I feel like Thoth has information for you. And there's something about a list. That's interesting. Somebody's on a list. Your name is on a list. I feel like Thoth or whoever I'm looking at is, and it's like a bird-like being. They're holding this scroll. It's a list of names, and your name is included on that list. Yeah, so whatever that list is, whatever list you are on, I feel like your name's coming up this year, and you're going to find out more about that. You're being called for something. Something that you signed up for a long time ago. So pay attention to what you're being called toward this year. All right. Holding my smoky quartz, you may want to work with one of your crystals while we're doing this reading. I'm feeling that my Aquarians that are resonating with this, that I'm speaking to right now, you have powerful lifetimes in Atlantis and Lemuria, particularly in Atlantis. And you may be connecting to that more. Some of the crystals in your house are imprinted or encoded with information from Atlantis or Lemuria. So pay attention to those crystals are going to be calling to. They're going to want to work with you this year so that you can begin to download some of that knowledge on a more conscious level. All right. Whew. Some of you may want to get the liquid crystal oracle that I use. We use it a lot in the readings, especially on the live streams. It's actually a whole system of Atlantean crystal healing. It's really powerful, and I'm actually going to pull a card from you from this right now. We have aquamarine and blue lace agate. If you have either of these crystals in your home, they want to work with you right now as well. Blue lace agate is great for anxiety. It's great for calming the nervous system. If you have something that you need to share or express with someone, it helps it come out in a more modulated form. Then we have aquamarine, which is assisting in simplifying your life. It's like keep things simple this year is what Spirit's saying. Simple communication, simple. If you are somebody who tends to overcomplicate some things, it's like that keep it simple, stupid kind of energy is what we used to say in 12-step a lot. I want to read for you about the aquamarine here. I just want to take a look if there's something in particular. It's interesting. We're not even at the card reading part of this reading yet, but the messages are just really coming in strongly for you. It says, in simplification, I manifest perfection. That's the affirmation for aquamarine. Let's see. This year is all about taking the simplest and most direct path in whatever it is that you're doing. The best way to deal with all that enters our life is quite simply fast. Deal with the small things while they are still small and do not allow the world or mind time to complicate the matter. Usually aquamarine's pathways of action involve verbal communication. There is someone you probably need to speak directly with. Aquamarine also appears when the doors to much needed gifts from other lifetimes are open to us, or when the higher self needs you to sit and listen. So this is going to help you with that Atlantean energy. Some of you have aquamarine. That's one of those crystals where that information is encoded for you, or it's going to help open you up to that information and knowledge and those memories and cellular. It's like your cellular blueprint and the codes locked within your DNA from that lifetime in Atlantis that are needing to come online for you. All right. This is going to help these two crystals together when you have those important conversations you need to have with people this year. This is going to keep you calm and centered, the blue lace agate. This is going to help you be direct at the same time and say what you mean and mean what you say with the aquamarine. All right, we have silver on the bottom of the deck too. Some of you might want to experiment. I'm not a doctor. Keep that in mind. Some people enjoy colloidal silver. That helps fortify them physically. And that might be something some of you want to look into, silver and gold, but I'm feeling particularly for my Aquarians, the silver. And is aquamarine one of your crystals, one of your birthstones? I almost feel like it might be, Aquarius. Let me see. I want to just look at silver for some reason. I'm feeling called to check into for you. Wear a lot of silver this year. Silver jewelry. This is connecting with your divine feminine. Helps you balance your emotional body. And it helps to verbally express what is found there in a forgiving and compassionate manner. And it helps you to tune into the natural rhythms and cycles of life. It's a moon energy. All right. And yeah, there's something with this card speaks of communicating too. So you guys really need to share your voice this year. And if you've been in cycles where you have not communicated effectively, this year is really about stepping into that and owning your ability to communicate. Clear, owning your needs, owning your voice. Sharing what you need to share. We had black coral on the bottom of the deck, light in the darkness. That's what I was looking at there. All right. Whew. Let's get into your astrology here. We have coming up right at the beginning of this year, some action going on in your sign. We have the full moon, we have the sun moving into your sign on the 19th of January. So probably when I release this video, it will be Aquarius's birthday or your birthday time, your solar return time from the 19th all the way until, February 18th when the sun enters Pisces. So this is a beautiful time for you with your solar return energy. We have on the 27th, Mercury entering your sign. We have the new moon in your sign on the 29th, just a couple days after Mercury enters. And then we do have Uranus, your ruling planet, stationing direct on the 30th. So really during that new moon. And that's going to be, I haven't done the chart for that new moon yet, but I have a feeling Mercury and Uranus are going to be, Uranus is the ruler of it, being the ruler of your sign. So of course Uranus is involved, but I feel like there's going to be some interesting energies going on with Uranus and definitely with Mercury during this full moon. And remember, Uranus, your ruling planet, is the higher octave of Mercury. All right. So there's a lot with that Mercury and Uranian energy, opening up the mind, expanding the mental body and healing the mental body. I feel like the mental and emotional body. So that's going to be a powerful, powerful new moon for all of you. That's going to be really like the Aquarian New Year for you guys. I feel like is going to be at the end of the month there on the 29th and the 30th. Now let's see what else you have going on here, my beauties. You guys, I mean, the bulk of the intensity of the action for you is, of course, Pluto, who just stationed firmly within your sign this year after sort of dipping back and forth here. And Pluto will no longer be retrograding back into Capricorn. Every retrograde in Pluto will be in Aquarius from now until 2043, when Pluto will begin dipping back and forth between Pisces and Aquarius, stationing firmly in Pisces, and 2044. So you do have a Pluto retrograde in your sign, the first of many to come, sorry to tell you. And that is going to occur on the 4th of May. So right before that 5/5 portal. So there's going to be a lot of powerful changes and shifts occurring for people where this is connected to the 5/5 portal. Let's see what else we have to say about that. When does Pluto come out of retrograde in your sign? We're going to look and see, is it in 2025 or is it in 2026? I think it's at the end of 2025. Let's look here. Pluto stations direct on October 13th. So 10/13, that almost feels like a Friday the 13th kind of energy to me. I'm not sure what day of the week that's going to be, but that's when Pluto stations direct. So this is Pluto's first full retrograde in your sign, really working through these Aquarian themes, Aquarian energies. Any of you who have your planets or angles, your sun probably, since you're watching this video, but you could be watching it for your rising sign. You could be watching it for your moon sign, your Venus sign, just because you have a lot of planets in Aquarius. Just because it's the age of Aquarius even, right? And there's been so much action in Aquarius since 2020. It's like, you guys, you're the pioneers, right? This is your age that we're moving into. And so if you have your placements in those first 5 degrees or so, 5-10 degrees of Aquarius, you're going to be feeling Pluto the most strongly out of all the Aquarians. It's going to build in intensity as Pluto moves toward the degrees where you have your personal planets and angles. So there's a lot that's moving here. We're all being called to step more into our authenticity, to use our voice more, to expand our horizons, to make that, to really continue to quantum leap forward in terms of our evolution and our consciousness. So this is going to be a big year for that in these beginning degrees where Pluto's really starting to just begin shaking it through this energy. And in the beginning stages of Aquarius energy, yes, Aquarius is about humanitarianism. It is about the whole. It is about the greater collective. But it starts with the individual. The individual really, it's that energy of know thyself. Know thyself, express thyself, live thy truth. And then from that place, you understand, when you understand yourself and who you are, you understand how you fit into the greater framework, and you understand how you can best make a difference in that collective whole. So there's a real focus on, when we're in these energies of Aquarius as well, coming back into this energy of democracy, this energy of everyone has a voice, everybody's opinion matters, where we're really for the people. And it's really the people taking the power back. So that's the greater overall arching energy of Aquarius. So in our individual lives, it's where we're taking our personal power back and we're claiming our right to be who we are and to exist in the beauty of that, and to live our lives the way that resonates for us. That's a big, big energy of this Aquarian energy. All right. So really, really exciting stuff for you all. It's going to be intense. Pluto is really upgrading all of my Aquarians, but this is, you guys, this is what you're all about, right? You're that forward momentum and movement, that dynamic, those dynamic agents of change. So Pluto is really just assisting us as a collective and you all as individuals in that process. What else do we have going on here for you, Aquarius? Moving backwards here to look at what else is going on. I think that's the bulk of what you've got, the big astrology for you this year, Aquarius. Now we have some stuff going on with Leo in the beginning of the year. Leo is another fixed sign, so there's an intensity of energy there. Leo's your opposing sign. So like we had Mars and Leo. Mars is going to move back into Leo. As we continue on here, let's see, re-enters Leo on the 18th of April after going retrograde in both Leo and Cancer. So you're going to feel that. You've been feeling that retrograde. You're going to feel that more intensely again when Mars re-enters Leo, your opposing sign, on the 18th of April. Venus will be, oh wait, no, Venus is in Aries. I keep lumping Aries and Leo together when I'm doing these for some reason. I know they're both fire signs, but it's just interesting how I keep doing that. So there will be that new moon at 7 degrees of Taurus on the 27th of April will be squaring your sign. So that might cause some uncomfortability. There may be some powerful shifts and changes with that as well. Let's see. Full moon in Scorpio in May will be squaring you as well. Yeah, I feel like that's the bulk of you're going to have a full moon in your sign on the 9th. So right after the 8-8, essentially during the Lionsgate energies on the 9th officially, but we're calling it, right? On that Lionsgate, within that Lionsgate portal, the full moon in Aquarius at 17 degrees of Aquarius. That's going to be huge, that energy. And the new moon in Leo opposing you on July 24th, a few days before the Galactic New Year, which is on the 26th. So that's going to be big as well. Those two dates, the 24th and then the 8-8 and the 9th. Those are going to be really big for you. Yeah, I even feel on the 11th of August, when Mercury stations direct in Leo, so Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo, all right, that's in your opposing sign, so you're going to be feeling that. That starts on the 18th of July at 15 degrees of Leo, and Mercury stations direct at 4 degrees of Leo on the 11th. So that's going to be working with you guys pretty intensely as your opposing energy as well. And then your ruling planet of Uranus is going to be sextile Saturn. So Uranus at 1 degree of Gemini, Saturn at 1 degree of Aries on the same day. So that's going to be a big breakthrough day, I'm feeling, for you as well as the collective in general. All right. Yeah, your ruling planet of Uranus is going to be doing a lot. It's in this sextile energy with Saturn. It's also been in a sextile, and it's exacting its sextiles with Neptune as well. So there's a lot that's being called into your ruling planet of Uranus this year. A lot of realizations, a lot of downloads, a lot of upgrades. Uranus is really assisting in expansion for Saturn, existing in expansion for Neptune as well. So you're going to be feeling those inspirations and those breakthroughs. And that's going to be on the 28th of August that we're going to have one of those sextiles of Uranus and Neptune. Neptune in Aries, Uranus in Gemini. See what else here of note for my Aquarians. That looks like most of the big stuff for you moving toward the end of the year here. Got a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, so that's going to be squaring your energy. That's going to be a little bit of tension for you as well. Mercury stations retrograde on the 9th of November at 6 degrees of Sag. And that's where the last Mercury retrograde of 2024 left off. It started at 6 degrees of Sag and went backwards. This one, or it stopped at 6 degrees of Sag. This one starts where the other one left off. All right, so that goes from the 9th, it enters Scorpio, which is when you're really going to feel it. On the 18th, on the 20th, this is all November, we have another Uranus sextile, this one with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces and Uranus at 29 degrees of Taurus. That's going to be intense. All right. And then Mercury stations direct at 20 degrees of Scorpio on the 29th of November. So once again, an intense retrograde for you in that squaring energy to your sign. And we'll get more details on all of that as it transpires here. Of course, even though we have Jupiter and Saturn that have moved out of your sign of Aquarius, you're still feeling those opening squares between Jupiter and Saturn as well, because the cycle that they're moving through began when they came together at 0 degrees of Aquarius, that birthing point of your sign back in 2020, 12/21, 2020, 12/20, 12/21. Right? There was a big energy. So that third opening square is happening in June between Saturn and Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be in 1 degree of Cancer. We're going to have Saturn at 1 degree of Aries. And you're going to feel that too. This is those beginning shiftings of aligning us with that highest timeline within these Age of Aquarius energies. All right. I know I just said all right like 5 times. So hopefully you're all right. We're following. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into this here. Clear. Let's talk about major themes. For some reason, no, Spirit wants to do blessings first. Might be an intense year for you. We're going to do blessings first. Tell me what blessings are coming in for Aquarius, I guess. Blessings for Aquarius in 2025. Or maybe blessings are the major theme for your energy in 2025. Remember, we did see Jupiter. Blessings for Aquarius in 2025. We have projections. The outsider. Guilt and abundance. Interesting, right? And so now I'm seeing what Spirit's doing. Spirit's kind of combining, because this is a blessing, but this is also a theme that you're going to be dealing with in 2025. It's the theme of finally seeing through your projections. So, and this is Aquarius energy in general, right? You guys do feel very much like the outsider. You are the maverick. You are what people call the aliens of the zodiac, right? As you are connected to all of that extraterrestrial energy, all of that multidimensional energy. And so there is this energy where you may project this even when it isn't fully relevant, just because there is that core frequency of being the outsider. You may feel like the outsider even when you're not necessarily. So there's going to be this revelation coming through this year for my Aquarians, having to do with where it is that you project a certain belief system out and then receive that evidence back in the world. And you're starting to realize where it is that you are creating that experience that you are having based on your own expectations of people, how they're going to be perceiving you and how it is that they are going to be reacting to you. So really understanding that more and more here. Let's see. In relationships as well, in connections, you're going to start to see and understand where you are projecting a certain, like we said, a certain vision, a certain expectation, and where it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And anywhere where this is preventing you from creating the connections or the abundance that you seek, you're going to begin to realize how to turn that energy around. Some of you too, I feel like you have kept yourself out of situations or connections with people. You've prevented yourself from connecting and really getting the support that you deserve and desire because of some sort of guilt energy here. There's something that you feel guilty or shameful about, and it's caused you to kind of ostracize yourself from society, from a certain group or certain people, maybe even a specific person here. Tell me some more about this. We have possibilities coming out here. And guidance. I feel like Spirit's going to be guiding you toward what is possible for your life this year. And you're being asked not to squash that, I guess, is like maybe one way I want to put it. Not to immediately count it out. You're going to have, I'm feeling a 7 of Cups energy too. So there might be like a lot of options for you. And you might be feeling really confused about which choice to make, which path to take. And there might be some guilt that's factoring into your decision where it's like you have an amazing opportunity come up, but you don't want to take it because you feel guilty because you'll be letting somebody else down or you'll be neglecting somebody. Or maybe for some of you guys, it's like you feel like you'll be taking that opportunity from somebody else who needs it. Or somebody else who wants it more than you. And Spirit's saying, don't worry about all of that. There's enough abundance to go around. If you want it, take it. It's yours. It's that kind of an energy here. Yeah, and some of you guys, I feel like you've held yourself back in a lot of ways because you felt guilty. It was either like, I don't want somebody else to go without, or I don't want to become too successful or too abundant or too fill in the blank. I don't want to shine too bright, right? Because other people are going to feel a type of way. They're going to feel smaller. They're going to feel less abundant. They're going to feel more insecure. So I have to like hold myself back. And this is all Age of Aquarius energy too, right? It's like, no, honey, you were meant to shine. Let yourself shine. Don't feel guilty about taking and claiming what's yours, claiming what you've earned, okay? Let your spirit guide you to the best choice and decision in any situation. For some of you guys, it's like you have to make a choice that's right for you, even though it's going to inconvenience other people. For somebody, I'm seeing like having to move, and maybe you're in a relationship and your partner has like a good job that they love, or your kids are in school and you don't want to have to uproot them. But it's like, in order to have what you've worked so hard for, like you're going to have to make that choice. And other people are going to have to be uncomfortable in the meantime. And for some of you, that's really, that's difficult. It's unacceptable to you. So it comes down to the choice of like, what's more unacceptable? To limit your greatness and limit the abundance that the universe has in store for you, your own fulfillment, or to inconvenience other people for a while. Maybe you don't want your kids to feel like they're outsiders because all of a sudden they're thrown into a new school system. They're thrown into a new place. They're thrown out of their element. But that is helping them to become more adaptable, more versatile as well. Yeah. Some of you guys, this past life energy or this imprint just keeps coming up that really Spirit wants you to be aware of like holding yourself back from connection because of guilt from the past. For some of you guys, this is about stepping up into your own leadership. You're meant to be a leader, but you're afraid to do it because of something that happened in the past. Somewhere where you went wrong, somewhere where perhaps for some of you, I feel like it was like the power corrupted you. And for some of you, this has ties all the way back to Atlantis. Remember, we talked about Atlantis at the beginning of this reading and the things that went down there. So as you're integrating this piece of yourself, you're going to be reintegrating your power, but some of that guilt is going to come up as well. And it's going to cause you to pull back from people, to isolate yourself a little bit. And for some of you, that really, it just is that energy of feeling like being an outsider. I feel like for some of you, it's going to be a little bit different this year, where maybe you don't always feel like an outsider so much, but this year, all of a sudden you do. And it's because you're also shifting timelines, I feel like. With this projections card, another thing that this reminds me of for some is this energy of shifting timelines. And as you're shifting out of one timeline into another version of you, this is going to get really quantum here, you guys. People are shifting out of your reality, but there's also this, it's almost like being in two realities at once. Like you guys are playing within multiple timelines right now. There's multiple versions of you, I feel like, where possibilities that you could shift into, versions of your life that you could shift into. I'm feeling like 2 to 4 major timelines that this year, like they're very much in flux. Like you're very much functioning, not in a fully conscious way, but in a somewhat conscious way in these multiple timelines. So you might be meeting certain people and you really get that deja vu, or that sense of like, I know you from somewhere, because you know them in multiple timelines. And you're getting this, you're seeing more glitches in the matrix. You're noticing the little things that look different, where it's like the Mandela effect, where you remember something one way, but all of a sudden it's a different way. And you're like, no, that wasn't like that before. You're going to be noticing it when it comes to even like small things, like that car was blue and now it's red. Or just like those little glitches in the matrix, but that's really just because you are shifting rapidly through these timelines. And I feel like there may be one that's a bit drastically different from the other, but a lot of these are very similar. And we switch in and out of these timelines all the time. We all do. It's just they're so similar that we don't really notice the difference. But you're going to start noticing the difference because there is a bigger shift that's coming. One of these timelines, the difference between the two of them is more pronounced. And it's like your soul needs to function in both of those timelines simultaneously in order to get the experience and the expansion from both. And then ultimately it's going to be choosing one that you're going to be primarily functioning in moving forward from 2025. I know that sounds, that's only going to be for some. So take that if it resonates for you. It's like you're projecting yourself into multiple timelines. Some of you might be doing this in meditation as well. One of your spiritual gifts that might be coming online is your ability to astral travel, to remote view, and also to project yourself into different dimensions or realities. So you're kind of like say you have a choice coming up and you're going to say, all right, let me go in meditation. Let me sit down and let me project myself into the possible timeline of what would happen if I made this choice. Now let me project myself into that timeline to see what will happen if I make that choice. What are the different possibilities and probabilities? So some of you are really going to start playing around with all of that as well, which is going to be really interesting. Spirit's saying just don't get too caught up in a specific timeline. And what I mean by this is, I feel like somebody specifically who's watching this, you're going to start playing around with this. And there's going to be one other timeline that you stumble across, that you feel really connected to, that you like better than the one you're on. And you're almost going to start meditating. And it's like, this sounds like it could be like a sci-fi novel or something. You're going to start living more in that timeline where it's like you'd rather be in meditation existing in that timeline than existing in the one that you're physically in right now. And existing that way is going to help you merge your physical reality into that other timeline. But for some reason, something about this, it's like Spirit's saying you're not meant to do that, because that timeline, that's not the one you chose, and you're not meant to go back there. It's almost like you stumble across it, sort of by accident in a sense. And then you almost get addicted to it. I know this is fucking crazy sounding. And Spirit's saying, focus on the timeline that you're on. Don't spend too much time there. It's almost like living in a parallel or an alternate reality, but you're meant to be living in that one and also living in this one. And trusting that if this one is meant to merge back with that one, it will. As long as you keep following your highest excitement, you keep following your divine guidance, you keep following your heart. All right, so that's going to be for whoever it's going to resonate for. All right. Then we also got new vision coming out with friendliness, flowering, and we are the world, with fighting in the reverse, 5 of Swords, and harmony out of that. So there's this beautiful energy of coming out of a state of conflict into a state of more balance and harmony this year. There's new vision. There's a new perspective. This is Hanged Man energy here. A new perspective that is emerging. And I feel like there's going to be a powerful experience. For some of you, this is going to be a psychedelic experience or a vision quest, plant medicine journey, something like that. For some of you, this is going to be like some sort of tower moment or crisis that's going to really help you to see the world in a new perspective this year. And it's like, tell me more about this friendliness. This is, I think, is that Cups energy? I think that's 2 of Cups energy. Let me get some more energy for this, this 2 of Cups here. Some of you, this is more perspective, a different perspective around partnership, around connection. Clear. Tell me more about this 2 of Cups. Around friendships and connections in general. It doesn't have to be romantic. 2 of Wands. And the King of Pentacles. And for those who are curious, I am using the Tarot of the Sacred Kingdoms. This is an amazing deck. Very Aquarian, Piscean energies here. This is about you really gaining dominion over your reality. Stepping into the creator's seat, stepping into the driving seat of your own life. The flowering, this is Queen of Pentacles energy here. All right. 10 of Pentacles. This is, yeah. And with the King of Pentacles here, this is something that really changes the way you see yourself, the way you see the world, that helps to shift you into an energy where you understand the role that you play in your creations. And it brings back that inspiration that you need in order to move forward in the world, in order to see the world. To see the world as a friendly place again. There's that quote, and what does it say? It says something like, it's essentially like how we see the world is how the world is, right? So if we see the world as cruel, as uncaring, that's what we're going to receive. If we see the world as loving, and the universe as supportive, that's what we're going to experience. So it's going to allow you to see, even if it is like a trauma, tower moment, crisis that you experience, it's going to allow you to see the world through a different lens. If it is a crisis, like what I'm getting is like the way that people come together to help you, the way that your community comes together, the way that people surprise you by being there for you when you didn't expect them to, because you were in this energy feeling like this, right? It's going to help you to see humanity in a new way. It's going to help you to see yourself, your world in a new light. And you're going to feel supported by your universe again. And that is what's going to create this flowering energy. And that is what is going to create all of this momentum where you're going to be able to manifest powerfully. And I feel like you're going to be manifesting with community, with people. This is where you're becoming less isolated this year. And you're really reconnecting with other human beings and with that co-creative energy. Some of you might even be starting or volunteering with some type of humanitarian organization this year. All right. I love that. I want to get a couple final blessings for you. Children, I just heard children. This is either things, if you have children already, clear. This is relationships improving with your children for some people. If your children have been struggling, this is finding new resources to assist them. For some of them, I see them like struggling in school. And a lot of these new earth, these star children, they're not meant to fit into the current school system. So a lot of them do struggle in those environments, right? Because they're here to help create the new world. They're wired differently. This is why they get diagnosed with ADHD, with all of these different things. That in addition to all the chemicals that are being pumped into them in every way possible. Some of you might decide to limit the chemicals going into your children this year in any of the ways that you can. But it's all about finding that support for them and finding ways where they can start healing as well if they have been struggling. And for some of you, this might be a child on the way. If you have been wanting to and feeling, I feel like for someone specifically, oh, look at that, Patience with the Empress. She's holding her belly. Yes, mama. Somebody has, and the Creator. This is for somebody who's felt that there was a soul of a child wanting to come through, wanting to be portaled into this universe through you. I feel like either this is going to happen this year or it's already happened. You felt the soul come to you. Like kind of like tap you on the shoulder like, hi, you're going to be my parent. Nice to meet you. You could feel their energy around you, hovering around you. You could feel them wanting to be born. You felt that soul connection activate and come online. And this year, either you are going to conceive this child this year. Yeah, I feel like you are going to conceive this child this year. You may not birth them this year, but you will conceive them this year. Spirit's saying have patience. If it doesn't happen right away, don't worry about it. Continue doing what you're doing. You don't even have to try that hard. Just trust that soul is going to come through when it's meant to come through, and just do any of the other things that you're guided to do to clear your body, to clear your energy, to make your temple. Prepare your temple for this soul who's very high vibrational and needs you at your highest vibration in order to come through. If they have not entered your reality yet, it's simply because you are still aligning. The contract's been activated, but you're still aligning physically, emotionally, spiritually to the energy that will allow for this child to bridge, to connect with you and seed within you. All right. And for any of you, clear, if you feel like you need help clearing your vessel, preparing your vessel, reach out to me or any, clear, I'm feeling called to say any of the aura hypnosis practitioners, raw Reiki practitioners. All right, so that's really beautiful. That's a beautiful blessing for somebody there coming through. All right. And for some of you, that may be what you don't see coming, but I feel like that was the final blessing that wanted to come through. So now we're going to look at, clear, what you don't see coming. Anything else that you don't see coming? Four of Pentacles as I was closing this deck. All right, let's keep going with this deck. Tell me what Aquarius doesn't see coming this year, Spirit. Three of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So there's an unexpected heartbreak for somebody this year. This could be somebody hoarding or withholding love and affection here. This could be somebody who has a lot to offer, but doesn't seem to be willing to offer it to you. All right, somebody who comes in offering and promising a lot here is what I'm feeling. So for some of you, this is definitely going to be an unexpected heartbreak. And an ending. So this could be somebody who comes in. There's a lot of romantic energy. There's a lot of signs and synchronicities. You really feel like this is your soulmate. This is the person that is meant for you. And then it ends unexpectedly. Or they do something to hurt you that you really don't expect. But there's a transformation that occurs as a result of this within you. There's something finally, yeah, you end up, this ultimately brings you into your power. As you heal from this situation, as you realize, perhaps, that this wasn't, for some of you, this is really powerful experience, because you realize when this happens that you no longer allow your worth to be dictated by how other people perceive you. This person just up and surprised you. They didn't want you, right? You could say, or like they didn't want to give to you. They weren't willing to open up to you. They betrayed you, but you don't take it personally this time. You're just like, you know what? That's fine. You weren't meant for me then. I know my worth. For some of you guys, it's like they break your heart, but they don't necessarily want to leave. And you have to be the one to say, you know what? I'm better than this. I deserve better than this. I'm not sticking around. I'm not settling for crumbs, right? I want the whole damn meal with the world here. Anything else here? Seven of Wands. Yeah, you really come into your power. And that's ultimately what this is all about. It's about getting you into your power. It's also this energy of like, I don't need anything from anybody else. Like some of you guys, it's like you thought this person was going to be the answer to your prayers. Maybe they had a lot of money. They had a lot of security, stability that they could offer you. And it was like this belief like, oh, there's my Prince Charming. He showed up. Everything's going to be fine now. He, she, whatever. And then it ended up not being at all what you thought. For somebody too, this is just getting scammed in general. So everyone be careful of scammers, okay? Some of you, like there could be somebody trying to scam you out of money, somebody trying to get you to invest in something that's not going to be worth what they say. This could be like the Casanovas, like the Nigerian princes, right? They're like, I think we all know better than that. But it's like that kind of an energy, something that's too good to be true, something that promises you something that you think that you need. And the whole point of this is that you realize that you never really needed that thing anyway. Not from an outside source, because you have it within. You are capable of providing that for yourself, and you no longer need that from the outside. So that's a really beautiful, empowering energy there. Yeah. Yeah, we have Temperance with the Seven of Swords. Definitely be on the lookout for this deceptive energy. Where this is coming up, it's all about teaching you how to be deeper in your own discernment. That's a big energy. It's so important for all of us to understand that and to be tapped into our intuition and our discernment moving forward here. And there's this energy of forgiveness. Look how beautiful this card is. So for some of you guys, there's a really powerful moment when you're able to forgive the people that hurt you and move on. Some of you guys, this is what you don't see coming, is that whatever betrayal or whoever tries to hoodwink you here, it brings up a wound from a time where you did fall victim to this energy in the past, but it brings that up so that you can heal that. And it also shows some of you where you were deceiving yourselves. And it brings you to a deeper level of self-honesty, Tower, Judgment. Come on. And there's this energy. Look at these two cards. Look at the angels rising up here. There's this energy of rising up. It's a very Phoenix energy, rising up out of the ashes here. Rising up into a more empowered, a wiser version of yourself. Forgiveness is so powerful. It doesn't mean that we forget. It doesn't mean that we condone behavior, but it means we no longer allow it to hold us prisoner. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do anything else that Aquarius doesn't see coming before we pull a closing card here. Clear. What else does Aquarius not see coming this year? Okay. Got the 8 of Cups. Got the Queen of Cups. 3 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Yeah, this is about you walking away from everything that doesn't serve you emotionally. This feels like the journey too, right? Of realizing, it's like it all keeps coming back to realizing that nothing outside of you is going to satisfy you. Becoming aware of where it is that you have built barriers against love, against joy and fulfillment. Tell me more here. Help me understand this spread a little bit better for Aquarius. I feel like there's going to be, you're going to be leaving behind things that don't fulfill you, moving into things that do fulfill you more, but there's still going to be the sense that something's missing. This sense of loneliness, perhaps, this sense of like, there's something that's just not there, that's not clicking into place. Even though you're making all these changes that need to be made, even though you're honoring your emotions more, you're honoring your intuition more, you're walking away from the people and the places that don't serve you. It's like an empty victory is what it feels like here. Because there's something greater that you're still wanting to create. So Spirit's saying, don't settle. You're going to be walking away from a lot that does not serve you this year, but do not settle. Do not do that and then go ahead and settle for something less than what you really deserve and less than what you desire in your heart of hearts. Because whatever that is that you desire, you can create that. You can create that. Don't walk away from something that's not fulfilling into something else that is not fulfilling in a different way. You might have to do something that isn't as fulfilling for a time that's getting you towards where you're wanting to go, but always make sure that you are not giving up on that bigger dream. All right, we have intuition. Your intuition will guide you into how to create and manifest what it is that you truly want. There's going to be a lot of really learning. I feel like 2023 and 2024 were really also about learning what you didn't want. This year is going to be from like you've been learning what you didn't want, now really walking away from what you don't want. And when it's offered to you, immediately rejecting it, right? Immediately saying, no, that's not for me. No, I'm not settling for that. No, I'm not doing that. But then it's going to be about really setting your sights and your intentions toward building what it is that you do want, creating what it is that you do want. And I feel like some of you, it's like, just pay attention. If you're still not satisfied, if you're still feeling like something's missing, then that means that it is. So keep reaching within yourself. Keep praying. Keep meditating. What do I truly want? What is missing here? What do I truly desire? Your soul is guiding you towards something that is going to give you a powerful sense of fulfillment here. And guiding you towards somebody who's going to assist you along this path. A mentor, a teacher, somebody who's able to offer you a helping hand. So use your intuition when it comes to that. Use your discernment as well with the disappointments that you have had. And for some of you, that what you don't see coming this year, that's also going to be a disappointment. It might be hard to trust anyone. Clear. The basic rule of thumb is don't trust anybody who's offering you something that feels too good to be true. Don't trust anybody who's offering to or claiming that they're going to be able to save you. If they activate that victim savior complex, right, then you know it's not on the level. But there is somebody for some of you who does have something positive, a positive way to assist you, but it's going to feel empowering to you. It's going to feel exciting to you, and you're going to feel seen and acknowledged. And you're just going to know in your heart it's a different kind of offer, and it's not going to be the kind of help that's going to require for you to put yourself on the line in a way that is destructive or damaging to you. And it's not going to be the type of offer that, like, you know, when someone's trying to hoodwink you, right? Because they don't give you a whole lot of time to decide on something. It's like, no, I need your answer right now, right? They want to get you to commit before you have time to think it through, before you have time to do your research, to really tap into your intuition, all right? It's not going to be, if it's something like that, it's a no. But for somebody, there's something coming through where it's a genuine help and assistance being offered. They may be a Scorpio, or maybe in Scorpio season where I had that death card come out again. Or in alignment with, I think, clear. No, we don't have a Scorpio eclipse this year, but obviously we have a Scorpio full moon and new moon. All right, closing card. I'm being called to the Black Moon Astrology deck, so we're going to do a closing card for you from here, Aquarius. Clear. Oh, that was quick. We have the Pisces energy, I believe. And then we have Pluto transformation on the bottom of the deck with the lunar eclipse and destiny. All right. So destined and fated changes this year. A transformation in your own faith where you learn to believe in yourself more. You learn to believe in the power of your own creation and manifestation. It's like where faith may have been lost, it's like faith is found once more. This is a reminder. Actually, I'm just going to read this card to you. Let's see. I must be a mermaid. I have no fear of depths and a great fear of shallow living. And that's a quote from Anainin, who is a Pisces, the four-chambered heart. In faith and trust, you must surrender to what is. Pisces, the double fish, is ruled by Neptune, god of the waters, oceans, and seas. It is a mutable sign, its home being the 12th house of self-undoing. It is mysterious and unfathomable, but can indicate a life that needs clarifying as well as definition. And remember, we're closing out the age of Pisces as we're moving into your age of Aquarius. And we have a lot of planets in Pisces this year. We have Saturn and Neptune moving out of Pisces into Aries, but retrograding back into Pisces. We have the North Node moving into Pisces this year. There's a lot of this endings and beginnings, this closeout with that 12th house of the zodiac, that completion sign, and the birthing of the new with Aries, but the moving back and forth, moving between the beginnings and the endings, a lot of false starts, beginnings, and then falling back. So that can be frustrating, but there's a lot of like delving into our spiritual depths, delving into the mystery, embracing the fluidness and the mystery of life as we're moving through this energy. And so you're going to be feeling this and affected by this pretty powerfully this year. Let's see. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac and symbolizes the old soul, one who has passed through many lives, has picked up much here and there and experienced almost everything along the way, but sometimes doesn't process things well and tends to repeat mistakes. Pisceans have trouble maintaining boundaries, some even feeling half erased. If you have ever observed a Pisces, you may notice they don't appear as intelligent as they really are. You could even call them gullible or vague until they start cranking out works of genius. And they can be so psychically tuned in, it'll knock your socks off. Pisces is a beautiful sign with much compassion, denoting true visions that link up with the collective. Those ruled by this sign know much, know it all deep down, but have trouble sorting matters out. They're able to sense deeply, except for certain things extremely bad for them, which turn into mishaps and disasters. But through it all, Pisces still survives. Dreamers, artists, composers, poets, mystics, victims, and prisoners all fall under the rulership of this water sign. There is little doubt that higher consciousness falls under the domain of Pisces. In a superficial way, it looks as if the world is their oyster with their talent, beauty, sensitivity, and a connectedness with the unknown. Pisces sees the best and is an idealist, but the flip side of this is cynicism, which can come in waves. So dreams will lead you now, but clear thinking is a must. You may be extra sensitive to beauty currently. Poetry courses through you. You feel connected to the source. You like the idea of surrendering to what is, and compassion flows. And if you don't, this is the energy you're being called to embody in 2025. Some of you may want to watch the Pisces end of year reading as well, particularly if you have strong placements in Pisces as well as Aquarius. Take advantage of inspiration and channel it into a creative project. If you have a notion or dream, swim to it. Capture that wave. A great idea from the past may reemerge and you may want to return and finish it, but you will want to tackle this idea soon when you are inspired, or the entire matter could disappear into the rushes of the deep. About your question, you may be confused by the reactions of others or simply unable to get to the correct answer. Pisces can be like a pristine sea or the muck of a swamp, so getting lost is a danger. Make sure you're not being pulled under by other people's complications. It's even possible you have someone in your life who saps you. Usually this is not intentional, but because of some delusional way of unthinking or viewing the world that clouds the issue. Don't fall into this same confusion. Make sure you are protected and have the proper boundaries. You may have physical symptoms, but find no reason for them. Be careful when this card comes up, especially in regards to medicines or drugs, because allergies and strange reactions to medications may develop. When the Pisces card is involved, circumstances may be covert or at least obscured from view. So this is that energy of feeling like you're treading in a non-reality at points during this year. Feeling like everything is very fluid, where nothing's what it seems. And clamoring to make some sense of all of it. Spirit's saying, in these times, tap into your creativity, tap into your intuition, surrender what you don't understand, and the clarity will come. And surrender to your own transformation as well. There is something here that really can't be defined by logic or words that is going on for you in 2025, Aquarius. So surrender to the process. Surrender your ego with Pluto and Pisces here. Surrender into the unknown, into the depths. There is a powerful transformation underway. And a lot of it, like we said, is going to be going on at a level that you can't quite, you can sense it, but you can't put it into words. You can't put a finger on it. So it's going to feel very unreal at certain times during 2025, particularly through the eclipse seasons, I feel. You're being rerouted to a powerful destiny. All right? I love this. The Pluto transformation card is another quote by Anai Nin, and it says, people living deeply have no fear of death. You guys might want to look into Anai Nin, who is a writer, a poet, I believe. Because that energy is coming through very strongly. Some of you are going to be writing poetry, just expressing. Remember that throat chakra came through at the beginning of the reading here. Okay. Yeah, so this is an energy of delving into your psychic senses, delving into that which is taboo, that which where you have been treading, where you have been afraid to tread. There's something powerful that you're going to find there within the depths of yourself. I don't know what else we need to say here. I'm trying to figure out if there is. I feel like this, especially during the Pluto retrograde here, that's when this energy is going to be the strongest. This energy of losing your footing, of feeling like you don't know yourself anymore. The reason you feel this way is because a new version of you is being born. So surrender to the process, surrender to the alchemy, surrender to the transformation. Some of you, you're going to also, somebody's going to transition in your life this year. A loved one. Somebody that you're connected to, and you're going to feel that very powerfully, and it's going to open up and activate your psychic abilities and senses. I also feel like Pluto entering your sign is doing this for you as well, Aquarius, really opening. And I believe we talked about that at the beginning of the reading too, your psychic senses developing here. It's going to take you on a journey through your own underworld, this process of grieving, but there's going to be a powerful sense of faith that comes out of this. You might lose your faith completely initially, right, within this process. Why did this person have to go? Why did this have to happen? You know what I mean? This is unfair. This is unjust. Falling into these Piscean energies of self-pity or powerlessness, victimization, right? You might fall victim to drugs and alcohol for a little while. You might start self-medicating. That might take you on a whole journey. Ultimately, though, you're going to come out of this journey more empowered as a completely different version of yourself. You're going to find that you're going to search for that meaning, search for that why. Why did this happen? If it's not the death of somebody, for some of you guys, this is the betrayal that we talked about earlier. But whatever it is, whatever this tower moment is, it's going to cause you to dig deeper. And ultimately, what you're going to find is you are going to find a reason. You are going to find an explanation. Ultimately, a deeper sense of your spiritual connection and understanding, and a deeper sense of your own spiritual power and your own psychic power. Boom. What a way to end the reading. And then we had the 7th house partnership and the 11th house, which is your house, the house of friends, networking, connections, humanitarianism, dreams, ideals, come up as I was putting the cards away. Clear. So powerful shifts within and developments within those areas of life as well, perhaps. And it's all because of those developments, that growth within yourself. Yeah, a lot of tapping into your intuition, learning how to use your intuition, how to help that energy work for you, how to help your emotions work for you. Scorpio, I transform, the ruler of or ruled by Pluto. So there's a lot of allowing your emotions, learning how to use your emotions to alchemize energies, how to sink fully into them instead of running from them. Aquarius, you're an air sign. You're dominated by logic. You aren't necessarily a touchy-feely sign. This year is going to be initiating you through your emotional body, through that water energy, working with water energy. The element of water could be very powerful for you. As you delve deeper into your emotions, you connect with your intuition more. It hurts. It feels raw. It feels vulnerable. You may have times during 2025 where you feel like you're walking around like an open wound. But ultimately, that energy, it's going to cleanse you. It's going to clear you. It's going to purify you. And as you walk into 2026, let me tell you, you are not going to be the same person that you walked into 2025 as. You are going to be stronger. You are going to be more empowered. You're going to be in touch with your intuition, and you're going to be more on fire for life and where it is that you are going. I love you. I appreciate you so much. If you enjoyed this reading, clear. Click that like button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know. Join the tribe. If you have not yet, go ahead and click subscribe. Make sure you click the bell with the wigglies so you get the notifications. All right. If you've really connected with my energy and you want a personal reading, energy healing session, coaching session, any of the things I do, all of that information is in the description box below. Love you much. Talk to you soon.